reading some newer poems from this doohickey and some older work from these older hippies that are for sale, if you're interested. They're $10. They're very handsome. They have drawings in them as well, and headlines which have curse words in them for the kids. So a lot of my work is kind of like haiku-esque, and then it breaks off into longer things sometimes. I'm just going to leave this as it is. And so I'm just going to go, and then you get which ones are little ones and which ones are big ones. A bed for a dying ember of meaning, a whale stranded on YouTube. A home for a brilliant antenna. Every USB darkened with insignificance. Pretzel or peace sign. Not knowing what it feels to feel human, I know only feeling of me, presumably human, definitely a bank account and an email address, but still, stop. I'm a wild animal frozen in lemon sorbet. A vibrant bug-laden banana leaf, ripe with spots, dancing in heated argument. I feel like lead molten in the bowels of the forged swords of stories. I am an exploding door stopper. All paths are doors, all doors are storied. They keep out only in wishes, true doors are smashed open. So sad that people have been dying forever, and how heroic language must have felt to the first brainless mortals who sat and shat rose purpled from a slop of muck, a thinking yet diseased, loving yet diseased, at times immortal, feeling yet diseased, flutter a seed turned bearded, crinkling leaf, until all words read deceased, a vast, replenishable bowl of tears as man and woman and their sad hearts as icicles find new forms in phoning it all in. I fail to catch shoe as I unlace while men catch hawks in Mongolia. AOL sent me, the real me, down a wormhole, spent me like burnt ethanol. Counting sighs at the DMV, out of fingers. A musical afternoon, a truck horn, an odd hum, a dog's bark. Maybe OkCupid knows me better than I know myself. Maybe a case of trust misplaced. Single mother lives the dream on latte commercial. I have to switch to the other PDF. Okay, it's open. Depth reflected in the glass. Narcissus who is born each day to murder oneself at sundown. Ringtone set to vibrate. Forgets somewhere an actual stream goes unpondered. Words from new Batman as mantra. You pick your own. Lot of idols, toothless, bad sign. A laugh and a tipped wine bottle with the cap on. Good days when a broom is a sword as it twirls to your hand. This smartphone is a monolith smelling of put-out fires. I sniff, showing my teeth. The hour before using my first smartphone, I took a hot shower and felt like a Roman senator awaiting his leaves. There in line, waiting like a soup-wanting person, I shuffle to an outlet, plug in my smartphone, and wait as if hatching an egg. I pant. You are a complete human. A bird reflected on a cell phone is gone now. Range Rover clearing the fog. With every casual act of judging, we are warring. I want to scream, but all there is tweets. All different sized heads on OkCupid. All the different sized heads on OkCupid. Okay is spelled out there. It's just funny because I wrote the same poem a few different times to see which one I liked better. And it's funny. Out of a grid of blurry pica, a pelican. Here I am sewing buttons, watching the hands do the work. Born as if Jeff Goldblum teleporting, result known always. Look at me now, I own a website. I am here watching stars from the 80s age sort of gracefully on a blog, therefore there is no I. And then the next one's a longer poem called I, self-referential poem. Boyhood friend who hung himself, my first brush with disappearing ink. My mountains became fragranced then, even more so, like blueberry chemical or banana leaf scented candles, dead before begun to burn. Our quest to see light and dark has touched our truths so that they become tongues, and every logo, unchanging, becomes an imprint in your heart of hearts, until flatline comes for the unloving gaze of self. Selfishness, selflessness, selfies, that's self-portraits. Self-referential poem in every poem, like poems where quotients of loving, our only candle left unburned, crinkling, unwrapped, never meeting a use, and always winning a trip to goodwill. My heart of hearts of hearts of hearts, you have only been a picture page, and every line a lie, a lie, a lie. A whole internet with only 4 or 5 pages ever visited. A crying quiet pasture, a self-referential poem. I molt and molt and molt. I. 4 pillars, no roof. All the rain is getting in and making me rewrite my poems. Another line in a text file, another line in the body of I. Then I'll switch over to this book here. Check. Dog-eared corners, you can't get that on the PDF. A quiet dinner for 2 iPhones. Lonesome drone that left the nest to die alone. Oh, teeth, that first tug left my mouth dreaming that you'd smile forever. Spilled beer, a great impression now ruined. Paper fell on the floor, we'll write tomorrow. A web ad for Montana, a moose grazing in the window. Imagine facing a caveman that looks like you but is as wild as an animal, and you are just your dad, quiet in the sun. This one's called Fluid Movement. The sound of things is fluid movement. The sound of things is fluid movement. The sound of jealous love is a scaly dragon's breath that makes fall flat the hand that beckons. My flesh mobile, ghost of a soul, you meat of the present, it macho ownership of hot fantastic love cast across other bones, this feeling or unfeeling, is or is it really? The sound of things as fluid movement. The sound of things is fluid movement. The sound of jealous love is rippling the sacred bedding of the rich and ultra lovely, but it also rides in my least wealthy heart as a mass of television antennas, moving about in fluid, herding, movement, building, loving, herding, balding, building, loving, balding, dying. The sound of things is fluid movement. The sound of things is fluid movement. From the shoehorn to the shoe, the sumptuous tale of desire that ties end to end yet is perpetually undone, the untied shoe in a busy intersection, the minor key, the bow undone. The sound of things is fluid movement. Have a magnet made of this. The sound of things is fluid movement. Get an airbrush t-shirt of this. The sound of things is fluid movement. Make this into a piss in the snow. The sound of things is fluid movement. Cleverly hide this and find again later. The sound of things is fluid movement. This one's called Death Row, Tickle Me Pink. Last meal on death row, tickle me pink. Ask the governor, mayor, and wardens to all come down here and have some of this 200-pound lobster. It was ordained minister of the sea by all of heaven's printing presses. One taste and they'll be out finger drawing, breathing like breezes, lightly toe-tapping a lawless tune. Their kisses goodnight left with smiling wives, and tomorrow a fancy breakfast will pardon all subpar coituses. Destroyer, awaken your godhead. It is no cloud to mine for well-worn wishes. Tickle your own self, and laughing will come easy. This one's called For You. My poem for you sent telepathically. My poem for you lit you in smiles. The glow of your phone gave me the pleasure. My poem for you is baked into a Triscuit. My poem for you repeats like a dozen plastic beauty marks. My poem for you forgets about flowers. My poem for you skips, maybe gets there. My poem for you is cold and singing for warmth. iPhone. I cry for I do not know the future. Weep, weep with triviality. Boo-hoo, big bamboozling. Onward our best foot forward, on to new things, brandishing new you and forgetful ever slightly so. As daily new you, so tweets become unending showers. I sit at a stone in the pasture, tied to the ground like a flock of geometry towards a painted horizon. I give my life to gravity, a cracked iPhone. Tommy, grazing by kale, eats the flowering buds. Cat, also my food comes from box. Oh, what precious days to wonder WTF. There's a note in there. Let's see. Well, this is an old one. There's lots of people here that were described in this one. When we all went to Toronto, you remember? Okay, well this one was written on that bus. All right, a few of us went to a trip to Toronto. It was a freezing bus ride. And there was a weird party there. There's lots of weird parties sometimes. And, sometimes you feel alienated by your own dorkiness when people are being like real, like, oh, party. So this one's sort of like that. It's an old school one. It's all the way in the back. Dance party in Toronto. I spill my beer like Chevy Chase. I think someone stole my wallet. A friend looks like a hoodlum in the dark. I am sneering now, I know. Mouth don't know smile, but teeth do. I promise. Everyone engorged red here. In the future, parties will last only 15 minutes. Flash photography makes me nervous. A blonde girl kisses a black girl. A man several moments later. I got tired. I left to sleep in Whitewall Gallery. I piss and wash hands real zen-like. Bathroom with quiet nighttime mall washroom feel. Paranoid of blood pouring from walls abruptly. I try sleep like boring alternative. I wake like hoot owl creeping sounds. Still reeling from yesterday's fright. Last night Sarah had night terror, and we all friends sleeping in the same room. Rose pounded in the heart. Certain murder for sure. I sit in dark ex-industrial building with mind of flesh-ripping demon, like maybe hell was real and I found way there. I keep still, and why don't we figure it out in the morning? We do, and all have good laugh. At breakfast time we explain all, but glad to sleep in underwear weather and white box, 2 big wooden beams cradling ceiling. I sleep by one, reaching like tree trunk to high place. Happy at feet where maybe only good things bloom slowly. During dance party in Toronto, white blossom breaks open, concealed in mist. Phallic man pushes further up a girl's dress, his bearing hand in white snow tights, upper thigh center of her. She leaning back for hitting perfect middle place. I choose sleep like boring Buddha. Forgot to brush teeth. They will also. Night swimming. The pool exits me. There goes the note. Okay, let's see. Last one. It's called We All Fall Down. The children sing Ring Around the Rosie, grown-ups chatting about skill sets, retirement, toughing it out 60 hours a week, how to sleep at night in continuous service. They preface every other sentence with unfortunately.